Good evening, everyone, at rantfinance.com, and welcome to another edition of Dino's Tech Picks. Tonight is July 27th, about 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Looking at the minis and a couple other things, and going to start it off with where we kind of left off last night. Last night's video. We got back in this channel that I've been talking about for quite some time. And basically we closed like right at the channel, and I thought I just really didn't feel good about being bullish. I'll admit that, and you can listen to the video. Even though we were above the channel, it just didn't feel right. And then during the course of the night, we started drifting down. And then we got a great big pop here about 6 a.m. and I'm going to go into the 30-minute view, look at a little more granular level. And right here, this is a 5 a.m. half hour, 5:30, about 6 a.m. we got a big pop, and we just kept going. Well, what this little dip here ended up making was an inverse head and shoulders. And what's funny about it is this kind of formed and took off overnight, and by the open, the pattern was met. I measured this out, and the target was 1353.50, I believe. And right at 10 a.m. we hit 1353.75. So there was this little piece. If you weren't trading futures, there was like a little chunk up here that you could have rode the bull wave on on this pattern. Pretty interesting, but anyway, it didn't change anything with me as far as not being bullish. I will admit, I'm going to go back to the 4-hour view here. We're back above that 1342, 43 area, kind of my pivot that I've been watching, and but there's this trending green line downtrending. If we pan back out, remember this is off the spring highs. Had another touch here in early May, had another touch in early July, and just recently last week we kind of got back up and over, and then fell through. But bulls haven't been able to get above this line, and we're right at it again. So now what's the setup here? Are we setting up to bull flag and bust above? Well, no, not really. To me, it's very similar to what we had up here. Remember, we had this big green stick, and then I was talking about a typhoon setup, as Clinton refers to a lot at Rand Finance, and then it ended up making this this triangle here, which was this diamond pattern, which we had talked about that. But the key is we had these candles moving up, making higher highs and lower lows, but it was in overbought conditions, and ended up breaking down pretty hard. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. We got some wicks, but we're making lower lows as well. So I'm thinking, we come up here tomorrow, a gap up, we tag that green line. There's also some horizontal resistance here at 1360. I think that's a bearish scenario. I think a gap up around this area, 1360-ish, is bearish. So I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on that. Looking at the NASDAQ, we're back in channel here. Again, which technically is bullish. Still not really buying it, I guess. We'll see, but not sold on anything bullish right now. The Dow Minis, they're back up in channel, all is well. Oops, nothing to be concerned about, right? um, but yeah, again, still not buying it, but definitely keeping an eye on it. Looking at the S&P, one interesting thing here, this candle today, it tapped the top trend line here off those spring highs and kind of rejected. You know, I was watching that 1364 area. I was blogging about that if we got up to 1363.64, because there's some horizontal resistance here as well at 1364 and some change, that that would be a good short opportunity. You know, with a stop just above, if we start making new highs or whatever, then you know, this up channel is still going to play out, I would say, at that point. But you know, if we start to fade down, then I would say this top trend line, that's the dominant pattern and the one to follow. Looking at some of the other things we've been tracking here the last week, IYR again, in channel. Technically nothing wrong there. Riffin, we are in channel here as well. These are all daily views. And IWM, I think, is what the other thing we were looking at as well. Okay, I'm blind. That is in channel. You know, so is it a technical buy spot on all these? Yes. I'm still waiting on some direction. You know, and like I said, you know, we should be getting it here in the next couple of days. You know, did we get it today with the great big gap up and run? Maybe. Still not sold on it. So so that's it for tonight. Again, I'm going to watch this little typhoon, see if we get a duplicate of what we had here earlier in the week, or earlier last week, and see if that plays out and see how this green line holds. When we get up here, I'm going to be opening some short positions, opened a couple starter positions today, and I will be adding up in this area if we get there tomorrow. And you know, again, if we start making new highs, then I'll start stopping out, contain those losses. So check back in the morning, and we'll see how the futures fared overnight, and hopefully we'll get some clues to tomorrow's trading. Thanks.